you touch on AI there. I think that, we're talking right before we hit record, we're about the same age. And so, the world on some level has just changed so much since we've come up. And
Yep.
so if you wanted to do something like this, what you guys offer, just 10, 15 years ago, it would have been such a pain to put it together. You had to have a specialist for this and a specialist for that. And now, so AI, people are afraid of it, but it's so weird to talk about because on some level, it's kind of like a bubble. Like there's the Twitter bubble and the LinkedIn bubble and then the Instagram
Yep.
bubble. And I heard Caleb Ralston talking last night about when Gary Vee went to TikTok, people didn't even know who he was. They called him TikTok guy. And so it's like,
Yeah.
Gary Vee, I've known that dude for, I don't know him, but I've known that name forever. It's hard to think of people who don't know who that guy is. And then he goes to
Yeah.
TikTok and people are like, oh, you're from TikTok. And so there's a lot of fear around AI and what it's going to do. And I think some of that fear is justified, but I think it also diminishes the reality of what it allows entrepreneurs to do now because it can make things so much easier.
Yep.
And it seems that the disconnect is that if you're an entrepreneur, you're really selling, and you probably always have really been selling, but now more than ever, is trust. People have to trust you. And tools like Samcart and tools help you make that experience easier once they trust you to buy from you.
Yep. Yeah, and that's we spend so much time, and I've gone deeper than most people live on the AI side, both for our own business and then because we need to use it to help our customers. So any advantage that we see out there that can help our customer base, which we have folks that range all the way from $0 in revenue, they're just building an audience, generating products, but they haven't launched anything that's paid yet, all the way up to $100+ million a year. The core of our customers sit in that kind of like 6, 7, 8 figure a year type of range. So any advantage that we see, whether it's a new piece of technology, a new strategy, whatever it is, we have to. It's in our best interest to go all in and understand it, because if it can be baked into Samcart to make their life easier, then it's something that we should do. So, but yeah, trying to think of, this world is crazy. Like it's moving so fast. I mean, even just in the AI world, the last 6 months alone have been, I mean, it's just been wild how fast it has moved. And so I am constantly trying to, skate where the puck is going to go and think of a world where, hey, if there's a world that exists a year from now where anybody can launch a business, generate a product, create a really high converting website, run an ad campaign, do all these things that in the past would take years to develop skills to do. What then? How does a business survive then? What does a business need to execute well on in order to stand out? And every time I think about it, I come back to what you just said. It is trust. It's that personal brand that I think a lot of companies that maybe are just a brand and a logo or just a product, you're going to have to get really good at telling your story. There's going to have to be a face there. Personal brands are going to become even more valuable, in my opinion. And those are really the folks that we tend to have a lot of those types of sellers. And so trying to figure out not just how we can do all the marketing and sales stuff and make it easy to make ads and build websites, but how do we help somebody really up level their own personal brand and use AI to do it without pulling them out of it. And it's a tricky thing to do, but we gotta figure it out, and the market's gonna have to figure out how to do it.
Well, and I think like, I do one-on-one coaching. And so when my clients are work with me, it's because they want my opinion on stuff. And it's not that AI couldn't give them a similar opinion. It's that
Yep.
AI is going to struggle to think about all the nuances, ask all the questions that I'm going to ask to extract the information to help them move forward. And I don't know, maybe in the future AI can do that, but it seems even then AI's, people are going to struggle. Now, maybe a 20-year-old, okay, maybe they'll grow up trusting AI. But I think right now where we're at and what I tell owners is society doesn't know where it wants AI to be. And so
Yep.
some people say, I want a human to answer the phone. Okay, cool. You can have a human answer the phone. Some people want AI. It's like, cool. The
Yep.
reality is we just don't know. As we didn't know we wanted Amazon until Amazon came around, right? We didn't know we wanted Walmart to deliver our groceries. That was just kind of, maybe they dreamed about that back then. I don't know. I was too young. But we didn't know that. Well, now we know. We want to hit a button and the stuff gets delivered. But when we're sick, do you want AI to be the doctor or not? We haven't answered that question. Some people say yes, some
Yeah.
people say no, but society really doesn't know what they want. And so we're at a weird inflection point that probably won't be sussed out for a few years just because we got to have the bad things happen. AI gets something major wrong and it causes problems, and people are like, oh no. And we got to have the
Yep.
great thing happen. AI saves a lot of lives. And so, but the trust component as humans, I don't know if we can ever fully get past wanting to trust another human's opinion on something. Because AI
Yeah.
can't taste chocolate cake, it can't tell you the best. It can tell you what other people said was the best. And so as it
Yeah.
goes to advice and stuff like that, so personal branding is weird because I do see people now going with kind of the AI avatar personal brand, and I'm curious how that will play out because from a
Yeah. Me
movie
too.
standpoint, I don't really care, if it's a cartoon, if it's an avatar movie, if it's a human, or I don't care if it's good.
Yeah.
But with the AI avatar, I start to wonder: is this actually just Claude giving this person what to say, or is this actually this person's opinion on what they
Yeah.
think? And I'm not sure that's ever going to change. I could be wrong there, but what do you think?
No, I think you're spot on, and I like the way you put that. That kind of society hasn't decided yet. I mean, we've seen the same thing. We have human support reps at Samcart that are in live chat. So when an entrepreneur is building their site or running ads or whatever it is, they can talk to a human. But the first pass is our AI bot, and I think her name is Betty, if I remember right. And I've seen live chats where people ask to get Betty back. Like they ask for a human, the human gives them an answer. Maybe it wasn't as fast as they want, maybe whatever it was. And I don't know if these people know that Betty isn't real, but regardless, they are asking to speak to Betty again. And it's just funny. And they could be people like me who, in many cases, I would rather talk to AI because I can just move fast. I know I'm going to get an instant response. It's 3 a.m. Just give me the AI and I'll just figure it out. Um, but yeah, I think it'll be very interesting to see kind of where those preferences go. I think it's gonna decide a lot of big things that are gonna matter to a lot of industries, especially ours. Trying to help people start businesses.